YouTube. How we doing, family? It's your boy, Yo Hoops. And this is another episode of Fading the Public. We go through every NBA game every day. Today is Tuesday, January 21st, and we have a 5-game NBA card. I'm going to walk you through every game, let you know which teams I like the most, and I have 2 highlighted plays for today. I do this every day for free, so make sure you leave a like and subscribe to this video. And let me get into today's recap. Recapping yesterday, we went 0-1 on our highlighted play of the day. We took the Memphis Grizzlies minus 6 points against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I thought it was a good spot for the Grizz. They ended up winning the game, but only by 2 points. They dug themselves in a deficit early. At halftime, the Grizzlies were down 11, and the odds were plus 200 on the money line, so make sure you guys are keeping an eye on those live odds because they did end up winning the game. I was able to cash doubling down in that spot, but still, I hate dropping our play of the day. I'm going to get us back on track. Like I said, I have 2 highlighted plays that I absolutely love for today, so make sure you guys tune into the video. We're now 23-10 ATS on all highlighted picks, but I'm going to get us back in that win column. Without further ado, let me get into today's games. In our first matchup, we have the New York Knicks in Brooklyn taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Knicks are laying 11 points, and the total is 220. This is a battle of New York right here. Brooklyn's been a solid underdog this season, but they've been profitable mainly on the road. As home underdogs in the spot that they're in here, they're just 5-8 ATS. And I know this isn't a real road game, but they're not at home. They've been banged up this season, but it doesn't look like the IR gets much better for the Nets in this spot. So Bojan Bogdanovic, Cam Thomas, and Zaire Williams are all ruled out here. And then D'Angelo Russell and Ben Simmons are both questionable. So definitely keep an eye on the injury report for the Nets. It's pretty lengthy. For the Knicks, there's no new additions to the IR. Mitchell Robinson is still ruled out. I know the Knicks are on a back-to-back here, but they're a tough team who I think plays through back-to-backs with no problems. I mean, think back to last year's playoffs. Tom Thibodeau had them playing 45 minutes a night every night. So they're a hard-nosed team who knows how to play extended minutes. I think this line, the 11 points, is efficient. I think the Knicks win this game by 12 or 13 points, but we're taking the Knicks minus the 11 as our first selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Orlando Magic in Toronto taking on the Toronto Raptors. Magic are laying 1.5 points, and the total is 214.5. This is a good spot for the Raptors. Home underdogs is where they've been cashing this season, so they have a 13-5-1 ATS record in this spot. Orlando on the other side has been decent as road favorites. They're 5-4 ATS, so this is definitely where the Raptors have been printing. Orlando hasn't been showing up recently. We know that. We've been on them. They're currently on a 3-game losing streak. I think this is a motivation spot for both teams, but I lean to Orlando finally getting their footing back. I know we've been on them the last couple games and they've been letting us down, so I don't want to go with them as my pick in this one. Rather than looking at the side, I look at the total here. So both of these teams are in the bottom of the league in offensive output. Orlando is dead last in the league in points per game scored. The Raptors average 111 points per game, while Orlando averages 104.2. So that does set us a tad bit above this 214.5 total. But when I look further, these are the 2 last place teams in the league in 3-pointers attempted and made. So in 3-pointers attempted, Orlando is the 30th team in the league and Toronto is the 29th. These teams take no 3-pointers. So going up against each other, being slow-paced offenses and not shooting the 3-ball, I think this sets up for a classic under. We're taking the under 214.5 in Orlando and Toronto as our first highlighted selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Portland Trailblazers in Miami taking on the Miami Heat. Heat are laying 11.5 points and the total is 221.5. Both of these teams have been decent in this spot, so the Heat are a 8-7 ATS as home favorites this season. And Portland is 11-9-1 as road underdogs. So both of them are middle of the pack here. There's no new additions to Miami's injury report. And then on the Blazers side, Robert Williams III, Chris Murray, and Anthony Simons are all questionable. Definitely keep an eye on Anthony Simons too, because he's a huge piece and a big shooter for the Blazers. So it would be beneficial if he's out there for him. Miami typically runs into problems when they're laying these double digit spreads. So for their 7 losses ATS as home favorites, majority of them has come when they're laying double digits. When I look a bit further, Miami hasn't covered a 12-point spread twice in a row all season. In their last meeting, they beat the San Antonio Spurs 128 to 107. So if they covered this 11.5 point spread here, it would be the first time that they won by 12 points twice in a row all season, like I'm saying. When I look at the Portland side, they look good in their last match. They beat the Bulls. Jeremy Grant's back. He was out there hooping, and I loved what I saw from Scoot Henderson. He had a great game, but I love what he said after the game. He said, "I know who I am." It looks like the Blazers are emerging. They're starting to play as a team. We're taking the Blazers plus the 11.5 as our second highlighted selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Philadelphia 76ers in Denver taking on the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets are laying 13.5 points, and the total is 230. Embiid is still ducking Joker. So it looks like when I look back, Embiid hasn't played a game in Denver in over 5 years. It's been over 5 years since Joel Embiid played in Denver. He's been ducking the Mile High City. That's ridiculous to me. When I look at this game, so obviously Embiid is out, but Caleb Martin is ruled out for the Sixers, and then Andre Drummond, Paul George, and Yabusele are all questionable. They're still extremely banged up here. For the Nuggets, Jamal Murray and Peyton Watson are probable. Everyone else goes, so it looks like the Nuggets are effectively going to be at full strength here. There's no need to overcomplicate this one for me. I think Denver dominates and shows us why Embiid has been ducking, trying to hide from the Mile High City for 5 years. We're taking the Nuggets minus the 13.5 as our next selection of today. Moving forward. In our last and final matchup of the evening, we have the Washington Wizards in Los Angeles taking on the LA Lakers. Lakers are laying 12.5 points, and the total is 228.5. The Lakers have surprised me. They've been decent as home favorites this season. They're 8-7 ATS in this spot, and that surprises me because as such a big market team, they're normally well below 500. So you're actually up a couple bucks betting on the Lakers in this spot. We know who the Wizards are this season, and especially on the road. So they're 6-10-2 ATS as road underdogs. Even getting points, they're far below 500 in this spot. I don't like laying extended numbers with the Lakers, but I feel like in this game we don't have a choice. The Wizards are getting healthier, and AD is questionable in this game, so keep an eye on if Anthony Davis plays. I believe he should. But even if AD doesn't play, I can't lie to you guys, I like the Lakers in this one. The Wizards are on a 10-game losing streak, and I'm not looking to catch the falling knife with them. We're taking the Lakers minus the 12.5 as our last and final selection of today. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I love both of our highlighted plays of the day. We dropped the last two, so we're on a little losing streak. But if you know me, you know I don't look back. I look to get us back in that win column. It's your boy, Yo Hoops. I'm going to be here every day doing this for free. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the video, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.